There has been a bias in boxing that has been around since I have been watching boxing. There has been a prejudice and a bias in boxing that goes unconfronted and undetected. This bias has been going on for so long, it's actually a normality in boxing. And until this day, nobody has been able to articulate or even present it or even had the gall to talk about it and to bring it to the forefront. Those days are over. I told you guys that I was going to get you for all that stuff that you said on my page about Andy Ruiz.
Anthony Joshua says, Eddie Hearn said today in an interview that he wants a rematch in New York to rewrite history. Good idea or bad idea? Why not go back home where you did good?
No, because that's where he lost. So he wants to know that he's got pride too. That's where he wants the fight to happen. I'm okay with it.
What if he doesn't? What if he goes through the same thing?
Then
It was meant to be.
It was just meant to be. He's done. He already made a lot of money. Also, fucking retire. Who gives a fuck?
That's true.
But I don't think. I think you could do better. I think you could do better than that. You know, I got Andy Ruiz because he's Mexican and I got Andy Ruiz because he's Mexican and I got Andy Ruiz because he's Mexican and I've known him from really his career fighting for Top Rank. Manny, I've known him for many years. Great people.
Now, did you catch that right there? I hope you did. He asked Robert Garcia, who do you have, Joshua or Andy Ruiz? Oh, well, I'm going to go with Andy Ruiz because he's Mexican. Stop right there. He's picking Andy Ruiz simply because he is Mexican. Let me put it in a better way that you can understand it. He's picking Andy Ruiz solely based off of his race. Is he not? Is Robert Garcia the first person to do that? Don't all Mexicans, for the most part, do this? They all band together. They all express that Mexican pride. They all express their love for their fighter. Nothing wrong with that. Kinda. But he's picking Andy Ruiz solely based off of him being Mexican. Now, let me break this down in a way that there's no way in hell you can misconstrue or mess up or miss my point here. Imagine if somebody pulled aside Roy Jones Jr. and they asked him, who do you got, Canelo Alvarez or Daniel Jacobs? And Roy Jones said, well, I got to go with Daniel Jacobs because he's black. Do you know how much of a backlash he would get? Come on, tell me I'm lying. Come on. Tell me I'm lying. Come on, try it. You know for a fact, if Roy Jones came out and said, I'm running with this guy because he's black, you guys will be blasting him to the end of his days. Fact. Let me put it another way. If somebody ran up on Jim Gray and they asked him, who do you got, Lomachenko or Walters? Well, I'm going to go with Lomachenko because he's white. He would get his ass blasted to the end of his days. Tell me I'm lying. The point is this. Nobody else is allowed to do that without being criticized, okay, and accused of being biased and racist. Now, pause for a minute. Is this or is this not the same thing we accuse the LDBC of? Is it not? Picking fighters just because they're black and only supporting black. Hold on, wait a minute. Mexicans have been doing that since I've been watching boxing. Am I lying? The point is, black or white does not have that leeway to say that they can pick a fighter solely based off their race. The only group that has been allowed to do this, and nobody has said anything. You haven't been accused of being biased. You haven't been accused of being racially motivated. You haven't been accused of anything. Has been Mexican American fight fans. Tell me I am lying. Tell me I'm lying. You can't. You've been allowed to pick your fighter based off of his race and his race alone, and nobody has judged you for it. Nobody has criticized you for it. Nobody has called you a racist. Nobody has called you biased. Nobody has said anything to you about it. But you're allowed to do that. But black fighters, black content creators, black anybody, they don't have that leeway to say nothing like that. Because you see how we jump on the LDBC, don't you? Okay? The Caucasians, white people, don't have the leeway to be able to say that. Because we would jump on their case. Like, see, this is exactly what the LDBC talk about. These guys is racist. They this is that. He won't be able to do it. The only person who's been able to skate up under the radar without being accused of the things that if a black person said it or if a white person said it, the only person who has been able to get away with that have been Mexican fight fans. Tell me I am lying. If you tell me I'm lying, you know you lying. Okay? And let me tell you how biased and horrible it actually is. Okay? Do you remember when Canelo was fighting Daniel Jacobs? When Canelo was talking about his Mexican style? Do you remember how people reacted when Daniel Jacobs said, I'm going to show him African style? Everybody threw a fit. Oh, man, what the fuck you talking about African? That's racist. I swear to God, they went off because he said African style. How long have you been telling opponents they're going to be fighting an Aztec warrior? I'm going to show him the Mexican style. I got Mexican blood in me. How many times have you been an American fighter coming in here waving a Mexican flag, which I don't understand? If you love that country so much, why did you flee to it, come over here to this country only to hold that flag up like it's great, but you don't want to live there? I'm going to digress on that because I don't want people to get misconstrued or take this the wrong way. You know? But that's how much people have had to put up with that. Nobody else has that leeway to do that. You've been racially biased boxing fans from the jump. This is why I hardly listen to you guys when you got to make a comment about a black fighter or this. It's always negative. It's rarely ever positive. You rarely ever give up props to them. You know what I'm saying? And this is how much the boxing world knows your disdain for people of a darker hue. They're so aware of how much you dislike and look at a black fighter or a black person as a rival to the point, why do you think they always match black and brown fighters together? Why do you think that is? Because those fights sell. Why do those fights sell? Answer the question. Why do those fights sell? They sell because they know the black and brown rivalry sells. But black people aren't the one that's filling up the seats in the arenas. We are the smallest demographic as far as filling up seats when it comes to boxing. So who is the majority of people who's filling up the arenas and buying the tickets? Mexican. Yes, they know if they pair a brown fighter with a black fighter, they're going to have a good turnout because of the civil rivalry that Mexicans have with black fighters and black people in general. That's a fact. Why do you think Mayweather has fought nothing but Mexicans his entire career? He's not as dumb as y'all think he is. Why do you think he did that? There's some people to say that the only reason why Floyd Mayweather went undefeated is because he didn't want to fight black fighters. And when you think about it, like, yeah, he really didn't fight a lot of black fighters. Or like, what are you, Berto? You know what I'm saying? You'd be hard pressed to find some black people in his resume. That's because he knew where his money was made. It wasn't an accident he took over Cinco de Mayo. It's not an accident he came out with the umbrella and all that other stuff. Okay? It's a reason why he carried on the tradition of his Uncle Roger being the Mexican assassin. Because those are the fights that get you paid. So all that money that you see this fool spreading all over the fight TV and all over the media and all over, that's your hate money that he's flaunting in your face. He made money off the fact of how much y'all hated him. Why do you think his opponents was always Mexican? You guys have been allowed to pick your fighters based off of their race. You never go against your fighters only because of their race. Not all. Of course not all. Never rule in an absolute. That's unintelligent. But for those that do, they know this for a fact. Okay? And I bring this up because of the backlash that people receive from my video basically calling Andy Ruiz scared. Okay? Now, like I always tell you, it's my opinion. I'm interested in your opinion. However, I don't say nothing about one fighter. I won't say about another fighter. Everybody know this about me. Everybody know I don't care about color. Everybody know, I tell you all the time, I reserve the fight. I reserve the right to like whatever fighter that I want. You know what I'm saying? And the reason why I pick this up and I take this personally, because see, I have to take shit from my own. Because when it was Mikey Garcia versus Earl Spence, I rooted for Mikey Garcia. When it was Canelo Alvarez versus Daniel Jacobs, I rooted for Canelo Alvarez. Canelo Alvarez is my number one pound for pound. And I get chewed up. Oh, why are you picking him? Why this pick? I'm like, look, man, you just want me to pick a fighter basically solely off of his race. I don't do that. Oh, but you know that's what they do and blah, 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 blah. Like, man, I don't give a fuck what they do. That's not what I do. So the point is, I have to take shit from my end. So if I have to take shit from my end just to be able to express and like fighters that are not, quote unquote, in my demographic or of my race, then I'm not going to be taking shit from my end and think you guys going to dish me shit. You got me completely fucked up. Okay? You got me completely fucked up. That's not how this works over here. Okay? I'm not going to get smashed on both ends. Okay? And I noticed, and I've been noticing, you guys have slowly been disrespectful to Anthony Joshua, slowly till it crept into something racial. And then when Andy Ruiz started acting like every other PBC fighter on there, and I called him out just like I called every other PBC fighter on there, which all y'all agree with and all y'all this, that, and the third, like I told y'all before, the second you start to talk about a fighter that's outside of the spectrum of black, people will have a problem with it. So don't nobody need to ask me, does racism exist in boxing? Does bias exist in boxing? It exists for me on a YouTube level. So let's not get started on what happens in boxing. And you guys can't even see my face. Every time I make a video, people are so concerned with my skin color, it's fucking ridiculous. Seriously, you guys are obsessed with my skin color. And I don't understand. How do you bring race to the most race neutral, non-biased, don't give a fuck about any color in the world? Why do y'all keep bringing that shit to me? Well, let me not play dumb. I know how it is. The truth cut like a blade. You know what I'm saying? It's a reason why I took self-defense at an early age. Because my father told me, with a mouth like yours, you tell the truth too much. Okay? Claire, we got to teach this kid how to fight. He tell the truth too much. That was my father. He knew then. He said, you talk too much truth. You're going to get fucked up. So, self-defense Bruce. And that's how it came to be. You know what I'm saying? And I had every battle that there was in the world. Every kind of fight there was in the world. I was in it and I had it. So he was right. But I got to bring this up because you can't think that you can keep doing this and don't nobody know it. You can't think that you can keep doing this and it's okay for you to talk about the LDBC. And to show you how biased things are towards black content creators, black fighters, and everybody else, check this. And this is going to be kind of a checkmate. How come we only notice racism when it comes to the LDBC? Do you need me to say that again? I know it got you stumped. How come we only recognize racism and bias when it comes to the LDBC? That means somebody else is racist and biased. See, me, I called out the LDBC and I called out the closet cross burner community. Matter of fact, I'm the one that named it the closet cross burner community. You know what I'm saying? I just didn't talk about the LDBC. I just didn't talk about the black diaspora of boxing. I got on them and I got on their ass. Okay? But yet, all of world of YouTube boxing only recognize the LDBC for being biased. The LDBC for liking their own. The LDBC for being racist. The LDBC for doing that. We only notice them, but they're not the only group in existence. If you ask me, this is what it really is. What you guys, what the LDBC are doing now, you guys been doing. Okay? They're actually late to the game. But this is where the problem come in. They beat you at your own fucking game. That's really why you're mad. They played the same game that you was playing on them, and they were better at it, and they grew in numbers. Okay? And because they grew in numbers, that's where you have a problem with it. But the second they started playing the same game that you started to play, it was a problem, and everybody can recognize that the LDBC is a cancer. Ain't that a bitch? I recognize them as a cancer too, but they're not the only ones that I see. They're not the only ones that I see. You guys, you only see the dark sector of the YouTube. Leave it to some people. This is why I can't make a video about anybody outside the color of black without somebody like Dirty Kirk or somebody else talking about, oh, this guy's pushing an agenda. He's doing that. Because they're too focused on the skin color of the person who's making the video rather than what I'm actually saying. And do you notice when I challenge these people and I ask them to make a video proving what you're talking about, if I'm this and if I'm that, nothing stopping you. Make the video. I'll answer it. Crickets. They don't make no videos. You accuse me of something. Then when I pull your card and say prove it, you move on to the next person. You don't want no more smoke with me. So I say that now. If your person is listening to this, you feel offended, you think you want to get at me, you think you want, nothing stop you from uploading a video. I don't care if you got 2 subscribers. I'll even help your shit out. I will cut you up from the feet up. Just make the video. I got you. And for all these other side Mexican fans want to challenge me to a fight, you sound like just like the people from the LDBC. That's how I know I got you beat. You only want to resort to violence when you can't pick up with a person intellectually. And if that's what you really want to do, it's not hard to figure out. It's not hard to find me. Anybody can get my information. Anybody can come to my gym. You know what I'm saying? Anybody can lace up a pair of gloves. And I swear to God, I will fucking cook your ass clean. It's not a myth. It's not a facade. I really am what you think I am over the internet. I really am that. No doubt. All right. So if that's what you want, you know how to get it. Okay. Anybody else got a problem? Drop a video. I'll battle with you intellectually and I'll fuck you up. Clean up. Because the reason why people can't beat me is because I don't have the glitches you guys have. I don't have a bias. I don't have a racial motive. I'm not jealous. I'm not an envious person. That's why I can talk about any and everybody. That's why I can blend over on this side and blend over on that side. That's why I'm fucking universal. You guys are not. You're stuck in a box. You only look at things one way. You scared to give somebody some props. I ain't scared to give nobody some props. Respect skill, man. It's not hard to respect skill. But I understand that people don't have what I have. And at the end of the day, that just lets me know I had better parents than you. Okay? I had better parents than your parents. Because my parents didn't raise me to be weak or to have a defect or to hate anybody or to dislike anybody for skin color or to cheat them out of something that they deserve just because I'm jealous, just because they don't match the people in my family. I have none of those flaws. I'm sorry. That's why I told you, think before you land up on this channel. All right? Because you got to be a truth seeker. You got to be a real person, period, to even hang around on here. Because if you stay on this channel long enough, something will offend you here and there. You know what I'm saying? But if you know me, you know where it's coming from. And I'm just challenging your own self-worth. Can you not be offended by something that you know is true? I do it all the time. It's not hard for me. I understand a lot of people is not like me. But please don't think you can come to my channel and insult black people as a whole, or insult Mexicans as a whole, or insult Asians as a whole, or insult anybody as a whole. I don't play that over here. And I will defend myself and anybody else. And I don't care how you defend yourself. You know what I'm saying? Don't get me wrong. If somebody coming at you sideways with some old sideline racial shit, if you throw that shit right back at them, what you think I'm going to be mad at you? No, I'm not. Self-defense is self-defense at the end of the day. Once you knock that motherfucker out, then we talk about your morals. But other than that, no, man, I don't take that kind of talk over here. I don't tolerate that. I wasn't raised like that. I don't come from a family like that. I don't have a group of friends like that. You know what I'm saying? We don't indulge in that. We don't care about that. We don't care about none of that. So it kills me when y'all bring that kind of bullshit to my page. I'm sorry that YouTube is the way it is right now. You know what I'm saying? That it's so messed up and divided. I only came here to try to bring balance and truth. That's really what this channel is. It's balance. Somebody you can depend on to tell the truth when people won't or people are too scared. That's what this channel is at the end of the day. If that's what you about and that's what you like, this channel is for you. If not, it's not hard to unsubscribe. This channel is not fueled by views. This channel is not fueled by subscribers. It fuels by people who vibe on the same wavelength, who all like boxing, who all can respect skill. Okay? And don't have a problem giving up props. That's all it is. If you can do that, my doors is open. My home is your home. Kick your feet up. You're welcome. If not, please leave. And I'm tired of asking you guys to leave. Now I'm going to actually start blocking you guys. I didn't believe in blocking for the longest time, but now I'm actually going to start blocking you because I asked you to leave this channel peacefully. This is not for you. You want a race baiting channel? You want a pro Lomachenko channel? You want a pro Wilder channel? You want a pro Manny Pacquiao channel? There's channels out there for you. But this right here is only for a specific and certain kind of individual. And there's not a lot of us. We are a small group. Okay? You think you part of it? Come on. If not, please leave. Bruce Vane, I'm out.